Live and in studio on your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS, your real estate and financial experts, making sure you win in every market. Your financial partners, Don and Gino.
Well, making sure you win in every market and making sure you're in the know about every market, and today is no different because we have the #1 real estate agent in all of Santa Clarita, a good friend of ours, and the person that is always in the know, Neal Weichel with RE/MAX of Valencia, the top agents out here since like the late 90s, and just an outstanding individual. And he's involved in your community, which we love. He's involved in numerous charities, involved in sharing his information, and we thank Neal for joining us again and taking time of your day, Neal, to share with what you know that's happening in the market and compelling information. During the break, we were talking about, before the break, we were talking about the frustrations for buyers trying to get into this market because we feel it's one of the best markets to still get into while you can. And Neal was just sharing with us how the inventory's changed, because for a while there, all we talked about was distressed properties, meaning people going into either short sale, well, it was foreclosures, then it was short sales, and now
shadow inventory.
The infamous shadow inventory. And now Neal just brought some. I love talking to Neal because he always brings like real facts, real numbers that are super compelling, and it's not just hypotheticals. Neal, why we share with how the inventory has changed? I mean, it's dramatic.
All right, so if we're going to talk about buyers and buyer frustration or sellers and what's possible for them, we really have to take just a snapshot of the last year. Okay, a year ago, I write a blog on my website, right? And a year ago, I wrote, wow, we're really not seeing the inventory increase. This is kind of surprising. We sure thought it would. We thought this year, 2012, might be another year of decline. This isn't happening. Come back in July and see what I have to say then, because we may be seeing the return of a normal market. Well, that's exactly, now we know, of course, that's exactly what happened. And in fact, by the fall, we were starting to see appreciation. We were starting to see listing agents like me say, higher prices and no appraisal contingency to buyers so that I could get these deals closed for my sellers. And of course, that's continued into this year. Here's the point. A year ago, about 62% of the homes that were listed were either a short sale or a bank-owned, and mostly short sales. Bank-owned really have been a small percentage of our market for a while now. And short sales, you know, we all know what that means. That means a distressed situation, likely a property that's going to sell under market, a property a buyer's probably going to have to wait a long time to buy and go through a whole lot of gymnastics to actually own at some point. But 62% at the beginning of 2012. Well, today, that number is now under 20% of our active inventory. And I brought in, just as an example, because I just did this for a buyer, I have a buyer that's looking in Valencia right now, and he wants to move up. And I want him to move up because then I can list his small home, which there will probably be about 10 buyers out there for.
No doubt about that.
And so, but you know, here's what you have, Mr. Buyer. There's 11 homes up to $950,000. Now, just to let you know, he's looking for at least 4 bedrooms. But that's not enough, okay? That 11 should be like 30 homes to choose from.
That's in all Valencia.
That's in all of Valencia. This is a big area.
11 homes.
Here's what's key, Don and Gino. Of those 11, all 11 are standard sales. There's not one short sale. Okay? Now that is a sea change, okay? That is a fundamental and significant change in the marketplace in the space of really about 8 or 9 months, okay? The next thing, and this is really, really important, is the pendings or the homes that are in escrow. These are the quote-unquote comps that your listeners could use maybe to refinance their house, or if they just wanted somebody like me to come out and tell them what their house is worth. These are the homes that are going to close in the next several weeks, next month or so. Of those, there's 20 in escrow, and of the 20, only 5 are distress sales. And those 5 go back to last year, meaning those buyers have been waiting since last fall to find out if they're actually going to sell. And I would suggest to you, I don't even think a couple of these actually will close. So of the 20, it's probably 90% of what's going to close is going to be a standard sale. Standard sale means higher price. Okay, standard sale means easier for a buyer to buy. And then lastly, the closings. Of these 26 closings, and this is going back 4 months, I went back to last year just because there was more distress sales last year, and still only 3 of the 26 are distress sales. So what does all this mean? It means that we're working in a market right now that is completely different than a year ago, and really fundamentally different from 6 or 7 months ago. If you're considering selling your home and you think the value is somewhat tied to the last time you looked last year, you're wrong. Okay, because we have appreciation across the board. every part of town, every price range. Now, the upper price ranges, not as much as the lower price ranges. 82% of the homes that are closing right now are closing under 500,000, which for us is a kind of a median point, right? Everything under 500 would be a lot of first-time buyer homes and a lot of the smaller homes. Once you get up in the 7s, the 8s, the 9s, it takes longer, okay? They don't sell with 4 offers on them, all right? Big surprise. But the important thing is they're now standard sales again. So all the frustration that buyers had a year ago when they'd call your show was, oh, I've been waiting for this short sale for 4, 5, 6 months, whatever. That's gone. For the most part, it's gone. There's still some short sales out there, but that's not what you guys are going to hear. What you're going to hear is, I wish there was more for me to choose from. So wake up, Santa Clarita, it's time to sell your home. I mean, truly, the options out there are incredible, and you can buy another one with the cheapest money we've ever seen in my 22 years of selling real estate. It's an opportunity that people really don't know how good it is.
Well,
there you go.
Great information, Neal. I mean, look at what Neal just shared with us. And by the way, if you just tune in as Neal Weichel with RE/MAX and Valencia on the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show. And if you have to step out of your car, make sure you continue to listen, because Neal's got even more great, compelling information to share with you. Just go to donandgino.com, DONANDGINO.com. Click on the listen and chat. You can now chat live with us, ask us questions, check in with us. We just got that going, so hopefully you can check in with us and you can actually watch our show, because this is live, and that's why we love having Neal in, because he brought his numbers. You heard him. He's going over those numbers just today. So we went from a huge percentage of I can't believe the dramatic change in Santa Clarita. We're talking Santa Clarita here, from just 7-8 months ago. I mean, we went from a dramatic amount of our homes for sale being short sales, some other foreclosures, to almost all of it. What did you say, 3 out of 20 or something?
3 out of 26 closings, and these are homes that in some cases went under contract last October, okay, or last November. The point is, this really started in earnest last spring. It became a noticeable trend by summer, end of summer, and then by fall, we had 300 homes for sale. We've never had 300 homes for sale in this valley, and we've stayed there. Okay, we can't seem to get back up to 400, 500, 600 homes, which is, spoiler alert, the reason why we don't have a bubble. Okay, amongst 4 or 5 other things. I mean, it's just you can't have a bubble when nothing's for sale, and right now so little is for sale. There's just not enough. There's not enough supply for the demand that's out there, and that's not going to change.
Well, I think the golden nugget there is what you said, is that the opportunity to sell and move up, or the opportunity to sell and move down right now, in so many cases, even in the move-up buyer, because they're stuck in a big loan or they're stuck in a bad interest rate and they haven't refinanced yet. Yes, by the way, where have you people been? Someone sent me a mortgage statement this week with a 6 1/4 interest rate. Where was this guy?
6
Under
a
a rock?
5.5 and a 5 1/4 this week. Really?
Yeah, so if you're in one of those, don't even bother. Just sell your home and move up. You can buy a bigger home for the same payment you have right now.
Neal, you'll help him with that, right?
Yeah, I'd be happy to help him, obviously. Yeah, doesn't it turn your stomach when you see some of these interest rates, and you want so bad to help the client out to fit, maybe it's refinance, maybe it's sell and move up, maybe it's sell and move down, but my goodness, 6.5%. I mean, it's don't do it.
Well, we had one, Neal, but because their interest rate was so high, they were just stuck in this quandary with their bills and everything else. They just put their head in the sand, is what this particular homeowner did. And luckily, their real estate friend sent them our direction and said, can you help her? So bottom line, we re-looked at all their numbers and basically restructured all their financing and everything, because she's trying to figure out if she can even keep her home. We restructured everything and saved her $1,149 a month.
Great. That's the story of the day right there.
I mean, that's good stuff, and this is what you're doing. You're helping people do the same thing, going, okay, family's growing. They need to find a room now for Billy or the twins or whatever, and they're like, how do we do that? We can barely afford the home now, and they are not on the know, and I know you're sharing that with us and supporting us in the fact that they can actually, in most cases now, especially with rising prices, sell their home and purchase another home without really changing their monthly mortgage.
Yeah, I've been doing this for about 18 months now, where, especially if they're in a situation where they have a high HOA or maybe some Melrose taxes tacked on to what they have now, plus a high interest rate. You get out from under that stuff, go buy a house that doesn't have those or has a lower HOA at an interest rate that's 2.5% less. Yeah. I helped a family not too long ago get a 1,000-square-foot home larger, that much more space because they had 4 children, and their payment went up $42 total. I mean, you know, it's black and white. It's right in front of you. There's no arguing it. I mean, they looked at it and said, okay, put the sign up. I mean, you know, they didn't have to think about it. So.
Well, not to mention the future appreciation on the bigger home is going to be better appreciation. It's just a great win-win.
Potentially, sure.
Yeah, no doubt about it. See, what you can tell, all three of us here, we've been in the industry for a long time. Numbers don't lie, and we love what we do because of it. We'll show you the numbers. Neal's great at it. He's got a whole stack of them in front of him. In fact, we're going to go over the numbers. We kind of teased you a little bit on this supposed real estate bubble. And are these prices going to continue going up this much? We're going to dive into that because that's a concern of yours and a lot of our investors right now in the real estate market. When we come back to the Don and Gino Real Estate and Finance Show with Neal Weichel of RE/MAX of Valencia.